Hey, we're getting caught up with technology and Idaho and housing. What's all that about? Let's find out next. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. You know, your great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley. And if you're thinking about relocating to the Treasure Valley, maybe you have advanced farther than I have and have been using all that high-tech stuff. Well, today, thanks to one of our viewers, Ann, thanks Ann, suggested I check out this AI stuff called Grok. Let's see what the internet thinks about, artificial intelligence thinks about some things dealing with housing in Idaho. So one, is now a good time to buy a house in Idaho? That's what I asked him. And I was expecting some kind of response from like 2001: A Space Odyssey, but it was a little bit easier than that. So thank goodness for that. So some of the things that we got from that is that the Idaho housing market remains competitive, but is showing signs of stabilization. Home prices have been rising steadily. That's true. The growth reflects strong demand and inventory is increasing slightly. And that's all very true. And if you've been watching our periodic monthly market updates, you already knew that. Homes are taking longer to sell, and that gives buyers a little bit more breathing room to negotiate. New listings are up too. That's probably where most of our our new extra inventory is coming from. This is something though, affordability remains a challenge, of course, and it says that what we have up here in the Treasure Valley exceeds the national average of 438, we'll call it. But you know what? As you've been watching our market updates, right? You know that you can get some great houses over here across the valley from Boise, over here in Canyon County. It's like the further away you get from Boise, the prices of housing comes down. And you can get brand new houses. And then also that makes existing homes competitive too at under the $400,000. So if you're wanting a brand new house, just a regular house, under $400,000, Canyon County. Could be Caldwell, could be Nampa. Nampa's very popular in that price range right at the moment. Experts don't think there's going to be a market crash thanks to Idaho's stable job market. Does that mean if you take care of horses, you got a job for life? And our ongoing demand. The high interest rates could temper the sales volume. Yes, that's true. I mean, we have seen that. Interest rates came down a little bit and we saw a little bit more activity. Then they went up a little bit and things slowed down again. So I know that there's this built up demand out there. So as soon as prices come down a little bit or interest rates come down a bit, it's going to be like, Katie, bar the door. So is now a good time? Well, if you're financially ready, pre-approved for a mortgage with a solid down payment and emergency savings, just like Dave Ramsey says, right? And plan to stay in Idaho for the long term, 5+ years, buying now could make sense. You lock in a home before prices climb even further. And the slight increase in inventory gives you a little bit more leverage than in recent years. Well, that's very true. However, if you're stretching your budget or hoping for a price drop, waiting might be wiser. Those significant declines aren't expected soon. So if you're looking to wait, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, about November time, maybe that would work. That's usually the best time for buyers. But if you're waiting for, the market crash, if you're waiting for interest rates to come back down to 3%, you're just going to be waiting. And while you're waiting, house prices continue to go up. And you're not living the dream. Well, maybe you're already up here and you're in a rental or something. I don't know. But if you're in California, well, let's get into that. First, ultimately, it's less about timing the market perfectly and more about your personal circumstance. And if you find a home that you love at a price you can afford, now could be your moment. Wow, I'm starting to like AI. That summed it up just perfectly. But then I went further and asked one more question because inquiring minds want to know, should I move from California to Idaho now? So this is what artificial intelligence, and part of that is intelligence, right? So this is probably pretty smart advice. Cost of living. California's cost of living is among the highest in the U.S. Idaho, by contrast, is more affordable. Well, that's true. Grocery, utilities, and gas is cheaper in Idaho. If you're feeling squeezed in California, Idaho offers relief, though its housing costs have risen 7.5% year over year, narrowing that affordability gap a little bit. But, well, let's continue on. So moving now might let you buy before further increases. I'm seeing a pattern there. That's what the previous question answered. Selling in California and buying in Idaho could maximize your equity. So if you could still sell in California and maybe you can't, insurance reasons and things like that, it's just a mess, right? But if you can sell, you might be able to take your equity there and move it up here to Idaho and still make out pretty decent. And if you do that and you still need a mortgage, you won't need as much mortgage. Maybe you'll just get a smaller mortgage, which makes your payments lower, even if interest rates are 6.77%. The job market. Are you worried about work up here? Well, you should be more worried in California. Unemployment in California is 5.1%. Idaho, it's 3.6%. So we have less unemployment. Idaho's job growth is strong, especially here in Boise. Hey, that's our area. Healthcare, tech, manufacturing. And we're not just agriculture here. We've got all this high-tech stuff. But maybe this is the important one for you, lifestyle and culture. Idaho offers a slower pace, outdoor recreation, skiing, hiking, and a more conservative lean. 82% of its 2024 electorate voted for Republicans. How did California do? Well, it went 66% Democrat. Yikes. So weather, we do have 4 distinct seasons up here. It's not that cold in wintertime. Yeah, we do have some cold nights, but during the day, the sun comes out. Things feel pretty nice. And if you crave space and nature, Idaho's a win. And do a reality check here. Maybe this is you. If you thrive on city energy, Idaho might not be the place. I mean, Boise's our biggest city, and it's got a nice vibe, but it's not the hustle and bustle that you're going to see in LA or the Bay Area. So why now? Why would you want to move now? Or maybe you don't want to move now because there's no urgent trigger in 2025 pushing the move. Housing won't crash in either state, so says artificial intelligence. You guys down there in Southern California, it might feel different than that. And economic trends are steady. Well, we have a economic growth trend here in the Treasure Valley, in Idaho. I don't know, what's the trend in California? Things like companies are moving out. Oh my gosh. And what happens when Kamala becomes your governor? Do you think things will get better then? I will be praying for you. If California wildfires, traffic, or taxes are unbearable, now's as good a time as any to make that grand escape. But if you're on the fence, waiting a few months, say until fall, when Idaho's market softens a little bit, and it will a little bit, that won't drastically change the equation. If you're financially set and ready for a quieter, cheaper life, Idaho's a solid bet. But if you're tied to California's vibe or the job scene or family, that's true. You might not be making it to Idaho, and that's absolutely fine. We just want to give you information so you can make the best decision possible for you, your family, all those that you love. So that was my first dive into checking out artificial intelligence. This might be all right. I haven't tried all those other ones yet, but this Grok, I'm not sure. It sounds pretty reasonable. What do you guys think? And we talked quite a bit earlier about our most recent market update. Go ahead and check out the one that we had just done and see if you get some more information from that might help out in that decision-making process. And be sure to send us a text, email, phone call, whatever it takes. Maureen and I, always happy to help you. We both made it up from California, and we're so glad we did. That could be you. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next video.